I'm going to show you how to do high-def contouring. This is personally my favorite for a night out because I like the finish that it gives to my skin. In order to do this, you need to start with a primer. And this will just make sure that the texture of your skin is really smooth and your foundation lasts for as long as you want it to. So I'm just going to warm it up in my fingers and pat it into my skin. My skin is quite sensitive, so I find that this rolling motion works best for me. I have quite red undertones in my skin, so I like to correct it with a green color corrector. I just apply it wherever I see any redness, which is mainly on my cheeks and just around my nose. I'm just dabbing it in with my fingers and really pressing it into my skin. Once that's done, I like to apply quite a full coverage of foundation and focus on my T-zone, so my forehead, the bridge of my nose, and just on my chin. So give a few pumps of the foundation and then use a brush and just focus on those areas. Once I've done this, I like to blend outwards just to give it a natural finish. And I'm using downward strokes because this gives you a matte texture, which I think works better with contouring. Make sure to blend in absolutely everywhere. Now that my base is done, I want to go in and contour. Now the key to contouring is to create shadows wherever you want your face to look sculpted. So once you've found where your bone is, you just want to follow this area with a cream bronzer. So I'm just going to follow this and then flick up naturally where it needs to. So go down and flick. I like to do this a few times just to make sure that you have that definition that you need. And then any excess on your brush, just brush it off onto your hand so then you still have a little bit of product left and buff it in. Try and stick to the area that you've shaded just to create that ultra high def. The next area to focus on is your temple. So you generally want to try and make sure that you just stick to this part right here. So add a little bit of cream bronzer again and just give it some gentle buffing motions. This really makes this whole area pop, the top of your cheekbone. Then you want to focus just on your forehead, just at the top of your hairline. So take a little bit more of your cream bronzer and just gently brush it across your hairline. Next step is the nose. So take your cream bronzer and you just want to go from where your brow starts here down to the tip of your nose here. Really lightly brush downwards and then blend out. Once you've done this, focus on softening your jawline and do this by taking a little bit more of your bronzer, looking at your jaw just here and giving it a few sweeps. Now, as you can already see, this side is looking far more structured than this side. So now I'm going to go in and just finish off this one. Now that you've created all of the sculpting with your shadows, you need to go in with highlighting just to make those high points of your face really pop. So you want to focus on your cheekbones, down the bridge of your nose, and just on your cupid's bow here. Everyone has a touche éclat. It's my favorite, so this is what I always use. Just pop it on the top of your cheekbones, just above where you've recently shaded. And then I like to use my finger and press it in. And then down the bridge of your nose. You can see how the light really picks up on it, which creates that defined look. And a little bit just on my cupid's bow. Now that you've sculpted and highlighted your face and you have the perfect high definition contour, you need to define everything else. just so that nothing is washed out. So I'm going to focus on my brows and my lashes. First, I'm going to use a brow mascara, and I'm just going to focus on the natural shape of my brow with short, sharp strokes to define my arch. And then I'm going to use quite a dramatic mascara, just because everything else has a little bit of drama added to it. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of color to my lips, because I always like to have a little bit of color. And I'm going to use a gel just to give it that bitten effect. I'm going to use a tinted gel and just dab a little bit in the center. And there you have it. That's how I do the high def contouring.